Councilman McDaniels,
Here.
Councilman Standifer,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Rutledge,
Here.
Mayor Wright,
Here.
Councilman Castleberry,
Not yet here.
Councilman Weaver.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, so that moves us to item number 5. That's our opening remarks, my opening remarks. If anybody else has opening remarks, please feel free. Welcome to Coffee City Council meeting. We are still operating under some limitations. We are having our council meetings in the community center, and we are doing that so we have the ability to social distance and maintain some standards and protocols during this COVID-19. The public has been notified as to how they can still participate if they desire, and if they have any questions and concerns, they should contact City Hall. Did want to mention briefly, I'm sure Fire Chief will mention it as well, Belts and Hoses Fishing Tournament is still going on this weekend. So I hope to see a good representation of council and EDC members if they feel comfortable doing so. Okay, if you do not feel comfortable being out, that's fine and amongst the crowd. But Belts and Hoses is a very important event that the fire department and the police department participate in, and look forward. I know they would be greatly encouraged to see the presence of the city council and the EDC. That's it for welcoming remarks. Any questions? I guess that's a resounding no. Okay, item number 6 is the consider and act upon the consent items. Now, due to last month and this month, we will be reviewing March and April in this process. So consider and act upon items 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, which consist of approving the minutes of the city council meeting for March, the emergency city council meeting for March 26th as written, approving the minutes from the city council meeting April 13th, as written. Approve the city check register for the month of March 2020. Approve the city check register for the month of April 20th. Approve the EDC minutes for March and April 2020. Approve the EDC hot account check register for March and April 2020. Approve the EDC general account check register for March and April 2020. So if you'd have a few minutes to review that. The information for March was in your previous packet. So, and they're included in this one as well. There was one item in the EDC minutes. Let me see if I can find it.
For March 8th.
That's what I'm looking for. What month was that? Was there, what month
Somebody
was
up there
that?
walking around a car.
April?
I just saw them pull in, but they got out and they looked like they're climbing over stuff.
Probably the fire department.
It might be.
I got 6 or 7 of them up there.
Oh, okay.
April, we don't have, do we have those minutes yet, Doug?
Or,
April for the EDC? No, we don't. Okay.
yeah,
I don't know where those come.
It's the way.
Mayor, do you wanna see them?
I've got the May minutes for the EDC, but evidently the April ones didn't make it into the packet.
Yeah, well, I think the way that we're structured right now, it's, we review them minutes a month
The week after, the week after.
The week after.
Yep.
You should have May's minutes this month, last month you should have had April's. We're 1 week ahead of you.
Right, right. Okay, I attended, in review of this, the reason why I wanna bring this up, I did attend the EDC meeting, in May, and something, came up that, I want to make the council aware of, just for your consideration. And that is an issue with, the status of Lake Palestine Business Center, with an issue that had come up for, and I know that, Jim's not here to give a report, so, but it concerned me because I feel like H&R Block, wanted to reduce their rent, is that right, Sandy?
No, we wanted, River Hay said $27 more,
Okay,
and they won't do it,
they won't do it,
no.
okay. So that was an issue there, and I think that part of that was concerning the tenant next door,
No,
or rent reduction, and they wanted free rent, something.
they want
like
1
that.
month free rent, I don't know why corporate wants that,
Okay,
I have no clue,
okay,
I'm not privy to that.
okay. Well, if you, that's the only question that I had that I was aware of from that EDC.
But that's on
meeting.
hold.
I'm sorry we didn't have the minutes, but if you wanna expound on that, who's gonna give the report for the?
I guess I am,
Okay.
what did
If you wanna fill us in on that, I would.
later or right
appreciate
now?
it. You do it under the EDC report.
Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was in there. All right, do I have a motion to accept these, or are there any other questions?
I'd like to make a motion to table, since we don't have the minutes for the, was it the April one that you were referring to?
Yeah,
We don't have it, and the two parties that were in discussions, nobody in this room was party to those discussions except for Jim Beverly and Ray Verhey. Neither one of these people are here to defend themselves or to answer those particular questions, and they've shoved it off on poor Sandy
Right,
to defend that, and I don't think that's right.
no, it's
I'd like to
not to
table this minute.
defend, not to defend,
Yeah, that's what it
just
sounds
to
like to me,
inform.
since it's of concern, if that was the way you phrased it.
Well, it's just an information.
Okay, well, for information's sake, since the
Okay.
people
Would you
who,
like to table it, Dawn?
I'd like to table those minutes, since
Okay,
the
do we have
parties
a
that are
second?
involved can't answer those questions. It is not right to make Sandy answer questions for the people.
yes, sir.
Okay,
Okay, so you're saying your motion goes for everyone but item,
12,
12?
I don't have the minutes in front of me, since you got my copies there.
Well,
No,
I'm
it's
looking
right
at
here.
the agenda.
Your agenda.
Go, yeah. I make a motion that we table the minutes for the April 10th, EDC meeting, till the parties involved with the questions of concern are here to answer. Was that properly done?
so do you wanna approve all the
Yes.
remaining of
Sure,
the consent
sure.
items except for item 12?
Yes, that's what I'd like to do. if
And I
that's
will
acceptable.
second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Uh,
Motion carried. Okay, open forum, there will be no open forum due to the governor's mandate of social distancing requirements. Okay, this was posted, this is part of our contingency, they can submit questions. Doug, have we had any questions? for
No,
open forum?
we have not had any questions.
Okay, with that being said, moving on to item number 16, the mayor's report. The third quarter, budget review was given to the council in the last meeting. I don't know if you have any questions or revisions. That was provided for you. And we are doing the quarterly reviews to see if there's any need to revise the budget or if we just want to continue, under the current operating.
I do have a couple
Okay.
of, if you look under TVEC, you took the 9-month and put a quarterly average on there to add $4,000 to it. And which gave us the projection of 49,000 under income, under
Okay, I see it.
okay. That,
Oh, 49, that's a mistake.
yeah, that's about 37,000 too high.
Yeah,
The,
Okay.
because we typically only get one big check from them, Doug, or two?
Yeah, one, I believe.
And we've already got it, so we're
Yeah,
not getting
and
another one.
it's
this
normally
fiscal
like
year.
12 grand or something, 12 to 15.
Yeah, 12,397,
yeah.
so we're not gonna get
So
another
that
one this fiscal
projection-
year.
Yeah, and that column projection, 2019 to 2020, based on third quarter, is supposed to take all of the quarters, this third quarter, and if we are projecting it out until the end of our fiscal year, so obviously there's a calculation that is wrong there.
Okay, if you'll go down to in court, just below that,
Yeah,
that's
is
the
there
old,
another one?
that's the old software, and we collected through 9 months, we had $5,900. That's probably all you're gonna get.
We're getting, oh, I'll let you speak to that. Go ahead.
Actually, in court is credit card processing. We could still use that with the new software, but we have something built in.
But they're not collecting for us, are they?
They don't, it's a
Older
credit,
ones.
it's a credit card or debit card
Where the payments show
online.
up. It's
And we
online
are
payment.
still getting, you can go in and Google, people aren't reading their traffic notices that are given to them. And it's got the new website to go to for the credit card, debit cards. But they're just Googling and they can still find, and we're still active with them, but we don't pay anything.
We're still getting anywhere between $100 and $300 a month.
Okay, well, so we're not gonna get over 1,000 more
We
for the
very
next
well
3
could.
months.
Yeah,
And we've
Probably
received
not.
$5,954 through the 9 months. So that would take us to about 7,000 rather than 17,000.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
okay. So we'll correct that.
Yeah.
I'll check to see if that's calculation error, if that's a calculation error, because it should only be picking up, extending out what we've collected thus far to the end of our.
Yeah, that's gotta be a calculation problem.
Yeah, okay.
It shows $1,500 there
Yeah.
for income, and it took it from
Yeah.
6
that-
to
that.
17,000, so,
Yeah. My apologies,
no problem.
council.
These are not the easiest things to do, I'm aware.
Any other questions? At the bottom of at the last page, you'll see where we have in January a loss, looks like a loss, but that is because the quarterly payments, the judge, for her state fines, she makes quarterly payments that are actually paid in one quarter, but they are for a previous quarter. So you see that we are trying, we're working together, Doug, Shalina, and I, to show that more real time. So you're not seeing, the loss in the beginning of the quarter, but you will see it as it happens. So we're working with that. So if you add back in, the $30,000 and redistribute it over the prior quarter, that's what I try to do, just to look at. But, it makes it simpler for you guys to see. So overall, I don't think our income has been very bad, or our there a need to, other than making the corrections, is there a need to amend this budget?
Other than making the corrections, I don't see any need to.
Okay,
We're gonna have to, somewhere along the line, have a budget
Yes.
meeting.
yes, and we're
So
gonna talk
that's-
about that.
Yeah, I know it's on the agenda. So, yeah.
So, if there's no further questions on that, I'd like to move on to our COVID update, COVID-19. I gave you guys a handout, we're up to what, 45?
45 at 3 o'clock.
45 now, Henderson County. I still have had no notifications that any of those positive cases are located within the city of Coffee City. Have you heard anything, Fire Chief, regarding any?
No, ma'am.
A few days ago, there's not even been any in our zip code.
Yeah.
Frankston,
Yep, but they are now.
oh, they are?
I don't know about the 2 today, but I know there's at least 1 in there now.
That
So-
wasn't actually in Frankston?
It's in our zip code in Henderson County, yeah,
Oh.
75763.
Okay.
Because I called them to make sure they were double checking the streets right,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
So we're still, actively taking our precautions that we're taking. I noticed that the businesses, we have, information put out on the website. Every time we have an update, there is, a message sent to Belinda for the website posting. She's done an excellent job because we've inundated her with, being able to keep information for the public. We are looking at several different things, regarding making sure that the city has the supplies that it needs, for PPE, personal protective equipment. Also, moving on, I'd like to, notify you, those of you who have not heard yet, of the resignation of the police chief, James Kirkham. He had given me some notice several weeks ago that, he did have a position that was, that he was very interested in, that would benefit his family more. So it was not a surprise to me when he gave his resignation. So we took that. I've been working with Frank to, do the necessary securing of the evidence room, etc. So we're on good ground there. I think everything is up to date as far as that position goes, as far as anything that needed to be done has been handled. And I would also like to give you guys the opportunity to entertain, recommendations for, an interim police chief. These are some of the things that I would like, due to budget considerations and some economic impacts that we're expecting. I'm requesting that we consider an interim police chief for a period of 90 days. After that time, I'd request that the council make a determination whether or not to post, or to post the position, or to award the position to the interim police chief. Frank Serrato has, informed me that he would like to be considered. He's acting lieutenant now and is, fielding all of the calls, etc., in the absence of Jim Kirkham. So at this time, I'd like for you guys to consider any recommendations. Is there any discussion that needs to be had?
I want to make the notion that Deb Frank Serrato the interim police.
We're not quite there yet, but, but so, is there any other recommendations for any other interim officer?
Isn't Frank the only one we have that's qualified for that position?
Currently, yeah.
So obviously it can't be any of the other officers.
had had an interest, well, not I had had an interest, but I had, engaged one other person that could have possibly filled in, you know, during this time, but they withdrew their name, so they did not want to be considered. So with that said, we do have a consider an act down later in the agenda. So if you want to make that recommendation, that would be the time to do that, or that, motion. So, if there's no other recommendations that want to be put forth, then I'll move on. Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay. Sandy, you want to give us your
Sure.
EDC report? Thank you, dear.
I have to get with the, police chief. The EDC agreed to the $3,250 for this weekend, so I will have to get with them for writing a check. And
You with who?
the police chief. Excuse me,
Sit down there, Sandy.
fire
I was
department.
gonna sleep in late Saturday.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I apologize. Anyway, we dropped down the Lake Palestine Center to 220,000. If I am
And it's
correct.
posted on the sign.
It's posted on the sign. All I can say is they're working on H&R Block's lease. That's what Ray Burhay and Jim Beggerly are gonna do. Number two, I have not been into the city, so I have no clue. Did they write the new check for this month? I'm not sure. Anyway, number four, he's on hold until COVID is done. There's no way that they can proceed. They are serious about waiting until,
Who is?
Jim?
Huckabee, Curtis Huckabee.
Oh.
They were going to have the rod and reel repair
Oh, okay.
business, but they're elderly, they don't want to. Let's see, what else?
Did they get that offer that they thought they might get? Did, Ray
No.
Burhay mention anything about that?
Not that I know of, I have no clue.
Okay.
Nobody's told me anything except what
Good enough.
happened last Monday night.
Good enough.
And other than that, is there anything else that we have that's going on?
Do we know how many fishing tournaments that?
Oh,
We
Yes.
did that.
we did get that. Yeah, I don't have it here, but yes, it is going good. They've had like, what is it, 9, I believe he said. I'm not really sure how many. There was 2. Anyway, we've given him $1,800. He still has,
We paid
Some
for
of that.
7.
yeah, we paid for 7, so we still have some money that he has, and he's giving us the breakdown as it comes. I guess that didn't get in your packet, but we do have it. We had it at our meeting. So it is going good. He had like 2 or 3 one weekend. So it's going very well, he said. Very passing. So that's going great. Any questions, or is there anything I can answer that, yes?
So we gave Larry Paxton money to have fishing tournaments?
No, we don't give it to him. We give it to the winners of whatever, you know, no, it does not go to him. He holds it. That
heard
guy,
it wrong.
yes,
I'm sorry.
no, I'm sorry. It goes to the group, whoever shows up, and it is dispersed, and we do have a breakdown of
It's
who
part
gets
of the
first,
prize
second,
money.
third.
Okay.
Yes,
Cody, it's
yes.
part of the prize money allocation.
Which brings in sales tax money to the city.
We hope.
Yeah, we had 4,000 some odd dollars in last month's, sales tax.
At the dollar stores, I guess?
Do what?
At the dollar stores, I guess, 'cause,
Yeah, that's all of them. That's
the
everything.
resorts, we don't
Yeah.
get sales tax from that.
Yeah, we get sales tax from all of it. We only get a part of it. The city gets, and then they pay a part of, you know, but yes, I noticed that it was up this last month.
You need to mention, Jim's, health issues
Oh,
that
yes.
are ongoing, and then Larry Paxton is the acting president.
Jim Beggerly's knee went out, he's had surgery, it went out, he is not working, he could not be here last week, he's down. I don't know if he's gonna have to have more surgery or whatever, but it's not good. So Larry Paxton is our vice president now, acting president. I think that's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you, Sandy.
You're welcome.
Okay, item number 18, municipal court report.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the month of March. Missed that last month. We had 173 new cases filed for March. 23 were dismissed after driver safety course completion. There were 26 dismissed after deferred, 5 after proof of insurance. We're still not issuing warrants based off of the order from the governor and the recommendations from OCA. We had 7 that were completed, after community service. We had 9 that were satisfied by jail credit and 3 that were waived for indigency. The total on the indigency cases was $1,002. We had $37,101 was collected in fines for the month of March. GHS, no, that was during the warrant roundup as well. GHS collected $17,771. We did the monthly transfer of $19,451. April.
Judge, was there any, did you already, or did I not hear, the warrant officer, was there any collections?
There were, I don't have a number. Jim never gave me a number once they started keeping up with it. He had a system.
But you have it for April?
No, I didn't have, they may have the numbers, but
Okay,
they're not given to me.
okay.
For the month of April, and just to touch on that, Centron emails me a spreadsheet every Monday of the contacts that he's made throughout the month, and he does several. You know, I think I've got like four or five sheets from him, and I go in the system, make the notes, so when that fee is collected, he'll get credit for that. So I've got a little system there. I'm gonna get with Frank so we can go over what Jim and I were doing, you know, just make sure we keep all that straight. He may wanna do things a little different, but that's fine, I'm gonna help him. Okay, so the month of April, we had 173 new cases filed. 24 were dismissed after driver's safety course, 11 after deferred, 1 after proof of insurance. We had 4 cases that were appealed to county. Still no warrants. We had 2 cases that were satisfied for community service. 1 that was waived for jail credit, and we didn't have any indigency. The hearings that we're doing right now, I did 1 over the phone, not the indigency hearings, but we did do juvenile. The court administration set up a website for us to go through and use if we wanted to. Right now, we've just been kind of postponing the non-essential, you know, they can all wait. So we collected a total of $24,344 for April, $8,730 GHS collected. We did a monthly transfer, or fixing to, of $8,168. And Centron cleared 10 cases for the month of April. One of those cases was actually from March. There was a delay in getting that to me. So we had 11 cases that were cleared. I anticipate each month it's gonna increase, yeah. So does anybody have any questions?
No questions for the judge?
No questions.
Okay. And your deferring of the, cases, the holding the hearings is mandated by the OCA.
It's recommended.
Just recommended.
Mhm.
So, that's the clarity, just want everybody to know that it is a recommendation by the OCA and we are following their guidance.
Right.
The judge is following their guidance. Okay, now item number 19, police report.
Mayor, council. For the month of March, we had 78 calls for service. 9 of them were accidents, 2 animal calls, 1 burglary, 1 civil matter, 1 criminal mischief. Total 11 reports. We had 9 misdemeanor arrests, 3 felony arrests, 1 open door, 1 fire call, 4 follow-ups, 19 information calls, 6 motorist assist, 1 suicide attempt, 2 road hazards, 1 shots fired, 2 suspicious persons, 5 suspicious vehicles, 5 vehicle impounds, 1 welfare check, 1 warrant attempt served, 2 CPS calls for information. We had 13 agency assist calls consisting of 1 traffic, 1 disturbance, 1 fire, 2 for information, 5 for medical, 2 CPS assist, and 1 assist own agency. We have 3 full-time officers and 11 reserves. They did 214 training hours for that month, all 14 of us. We've had 210 traffic stops. Of those, 102 citations were issued, totaling 131 violations and 108 warnings. We did 11 vehicle searches. We found drugs in 4 of them. 1 had weapons and the other 1 had alcohol. And the citations are listed there. Any questions for that one? Also for the month of April, we had 61 calls for service, 1 accident, 1 alarm, 2 animal calls, 1 assault, 1 burglary, 1 civil matter, 1 DWI, total of 5 reports, 2 misdemeanor arrests, 2 felony arrests. And of those 4 felony arrests, they had 9 total warrants out of all 4 of those 4 people. 2 open doors, 1 noise complaint, 1 illegal dumping, 1 lost property, 1 counterfeit money, 6 follow-ups, 2 information, 3 motorist assist, 3 welfare checks, 2 reckless drivers, 3 traffic stops where drugs were found, 1 vehicle in water, 2 road hazards, 1 suspicious activity, 1 suspicious person, 2 suspicious vehicles, 3 thefts, 6 vehicle impounds, 3 grants for search, 1 being Tango Radio, 1 for the Department of Defense, and 1 for the Motorola. We also had 14 agency assists, 3 arrests, 2 traffic stops, 2 stolen vehicles, 4 medical, 2 translation, and 1 vehicle search. We have 3 full-time officers, 12 reserves, totaling 37 hours of training for that month. We've also had 291 traffic stops, 138 citations issued, totaling 195 violations and 217 warnings. I'd like to add that Centron was doing the warrants, and him and Kirkham were taking care of that. But I did get to see some of it right before he left. He serves the warrants, he calls. We have, I think I have 4 sheets he goes around looking for them or drives to the address or calls them. We have 4 sheets, and the sheets, there's about 20 to 25 people per sheet, and I saw 4 sheets. So he's been very active. I'm gonna say that's anywhere between 80 to 100 people that he's attempted to serve the warrants. As far as what's going on with the judge and how they're doing it, I think Centron's having good success with what he's doing. So I'd like to just recommend we leave it that way, and I'll just fill in wherever they're at and catch up. Any questions?
Thank you. Item number 20, fire department report, March and April.
March, we had 24 calls, 1 house fire, 1 car fire, 14 medicals, 1 smoke investigation, 1 good intent, we were canceled en route, 3 wrecks, 2 false alarms, and 1 water rescue. We had several events coming up. May 16th was Belts and Hoses and TDM and SFFMA and all that, but all those have been canceled, and I'll reflect more on that on the next report. So, for this month, April actually, 3 building fires, 1 lawnmower fire, 5 medical calls, 1 smoke investigation, 1 good intent, 1 MVA, 1 unlocked car, 1 down power line. And what they've done is a lot of these medical calls have gone down because people don't want to go to the hospital. They're scared of getting it. And we get PPE alerts, and so the call volume is not there in the county anywhere, but they've already started picking back up since Friday. I mean, just, but TDM has been canceled. State firemen, fire marshals have been canceled for June. Texas A&M in July has been canceled. So really the only things we have coming up is Belts and Hoses this weekend. July 4th, we're undecided, and Square Fair. That's really it, to be honest with you.
Okay, yes, I had the pleasure of going into Tyler, and it's business as usual in Tyler. Broadway is packed like it always is. So people are absolutely getting out and about. Item number 21 is to discuss and set a date to hold the fiscal year 2021 budget. And my first glance, I'm gonna put 2 dates out there, May the 20th or the 21st, if we could do one of those 2 dates. And I think that, I don't know about time-wise, but 2 o'clock in the afternoon,
So we were looking at 19th and 21st.
I have a prior engagement.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. But I'm glad you were checking me. I'm glad you were checking me. So any suggestions?
What day is the 21st? What day of the week?
It's
Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday. 21st is a Thursday. To the 20th is a Wednesday.
Thursday sounds wonderful. Thursday the
Anybody else?
21st at 2 o'clock, is that what you said?
I can make it work. I've got a company, but they can miss me for a couple hours.
What, well, pick a date there, Bill. We're willing to work with you.
Well, I was just looking at the next week, at the 28th. Week after Memorial Day.
That sounds great to me.
And that's probably great for y'all. That's in the month for me.
Oh, yeah. Let's just do it the 21st.
Sorry, self-serving here, Phil.
What do you think I was trying to be?
Yeah.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, so are we set?
Thursday, 21st at 2 o'clock.
May 21st, 2 o'clock, Thursday. All right, so that will be our budget workshop.
Can you have another one of these updated
I will,
at the next meeting,
I will.
the regular scheduled meeting, so we can look over those for a few days before the budget workshop?
I will,
Thank you.
I will.
Wait a minute, you won't have another meeting.
No, we won't have another meeting before the budget workshop,
no,
but
we
I
won't.
can give you, I
Yeah.
can give you an update with the April numbers,
Okay,
okay?
just email it to me.
I will, I will. Does anybody else, Phil generally, gets, you know, an update like you saw on the budget review? Would anybody else like that emailed out to them so they can review? I have, just for your information, I have gotten with every department, they have submitted their budgets to me. I've got them in a working document, so we can clearly see, Doug and I have been working on, how to split out the departments to where you can see, it's easier to see, departmental expenditures, broken down, and it's, really not convoluted, well, it's not really convoluted, but it takes you a while to break it down. So what do you think, Doug? Are you shaking your head for,
No comment.
okay. Okay, so, if anybody else would like to be sent that, I can provide that to you as well. You can have information. Just let me know, you can shoot me an email. Is everybody getting their emails now? Yay! Yay!
Yeah, I think
okay.
the only ones that's not getting it is Edward, which,
I got it.
oh, did you get it fixed? Okay,
I'm not.
okay.
You're not?
I'll look into it.
Okay. Cause we really, you know, I try to send out a lot of communication that way, and I really kind of wonder sometimes because I don't get a lot of response back from the email, just received or something, so I never know if anybody's really received it unless you tell me. So, with that said, we've determined the budget, workshop. So moving on to, item number 22, and that is to consider and act upon approving or rescinding the extension of Coffee City's declaration of disaster proclamation. That's a mouthful. In the governor, the state of Texas has extended, I believe, until the end of May. Chris, the county has done the same, right?
They're going by governors, whatever the governor does, they're following.
Yeah, so that's basically what we are doing as well. Ours was set to expire today, okay, because we extended it until the meeting, so we wouldn't have to call a special meeting. So I would like, my personal opinion is I think we should extend it until May 30th to follow suit with our county and with the governor of the state of Texas. Chris, would you like to?
Mayor, I would set it to the next council meeting, because we don't meet like Commissioner's Court. They're gonna meet on a Tuesday and they're gonna go, okay, we extend it. You're gonna have to call people in, cause we'll be 2 weeks shy. You can always rescind it,
Well, yeah, but if it,
but
yeah,
if we cover it to
right.
the next
Because
council meeting,
Right, well, I've got it prepared for the 30th, okay, so we can sign it tonight.
okay.
Your suggestion? Yes.
We can change that.
Now, you can write the date in.
We can write the date in and initial,
Okay,
yes.
I think you should go till the next council meeting, as Chris suggested, and there's also a lot of,
June the 8th.
June the 8th,
I don't know who's filling out paperwork for whatever assistances that they're getting, but it's important to a lot of people that it be as long as possible for business reasons. So I would make a motion that we make the extension of the Coffee City Declaration of Disaster Proclamation, active until the next Coffee City Council.
Which is June the 8th.
which is
Thank
June
you.
I'd second that.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. All in favor of extending the proclamation until June the 8th, 2020, that's our next council meeting. All in favor? Okay, the motion carried. I will send the document around for you guys to, sign now. I did, if you don't mind, I did change the date. So if you will initial up here also on page 2. The actual first 2 pages are the extension of the declaration. The remaining pages are just what accompanied identifying essential businesses, etc. So.
Paper sticks together. You got your own pen.
Okay, as we get those signatures finalized, I don't wanna really go into. Doug, check that to make sure both of the spots, everybody check both of the. Our initial and sign. Just make sure everything is before we leave. Okay, moving on, item number 23 is to consider and act upon appointing an interim police chief. And the recommendation of Frank Serrato to be considered as our interim police chief.
I'll make a motion to appoint Frank Serrato as police chief.
Can you speak up and say that again, please?
Appoint, that Frank Serrato serve as interim police chief.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion and we have a second to appoint Frank Serrato as our interim police chief. All in favor? Any opposed? Mark, was that an aye? Or you opposed?
Abstain.
Okay, the motion carried. Frank, congratulations. Thank you for stepping up and being our interim police chief.
Condolences.
Okay, which brings us to item number 24. Is there any new businesses or anything we need to discuss? I do want to go on record just before we adjourn, okay, as saying that any items that are brought forth to the council, in discussion by me are made for the edification of the council, not as an attack on any one individual. So I want that clarified, because it is never intended as an attack. It is an attempt, it is in the interest of the council for things that I think they should know to be brought forth. So with that clarified, I would like to move on to item 24, which is the adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion.
I second it.
All right, all in favor? Gavelled out. Thank you.